Good evening. Welcome back to Stab the Dragon Productions for episode number 118. Maybe. I'm horrible about counting. But this is the Texas Rye Whiskey Tournament. And we're in the Final Four. And this is the second matchup of the Final Four. So the winner tonight will face Blackland 83 proof in the finals. Tonight we have Still Austin Straight Rye Whiskey. And this is called The Artist. Still Austin. This is 99.6 proof. And it is a straight rye whiskey. So, age, how long in the barrel you got here? Let's see. Founded in Austin, downtown Austin, 2015. This has a mash bill of 100% Texas rye. There you go. And it's aged in new oak barrels on a char level number 3. Don't really have a time of how much age it's got to it, but at least 2 years, maybe more. And then in this hand, we've got Cotton Hollow Straight Rye Whiskey. And this on the bottle says aged 4 years, and this is 101 proof, 101. Now this Cotton Hollow has got a sordid history. This is a ghost whiskey now. I've explained this in previous videos, but I don't think the company's in business anymore. This is sourced. It's not pure Texas whiskey. Sad story. The original founder, I think down in the Woodlands, he bought some land, tried to get a distillery built there, and local government nixed that, so he still wanted to put out a whiskey. He, went to Kentucky, where it's bottled, and then it's the whiskey's actually from Indiana, so it's probably, it says distilled and aged in Indiana, so it's probably MGP, but bottled by Cotton Hollow Distilling in Bardstown, Kentucky. So why is this in the Texas Whiskey Tournament, you might say? Well, it's because the guy tried to do it in Texas, and he is a Texan. And so it started off here, the idea started here. So I've got this category of whiskeys I say are almost Texas whiskeys or wannabe Texas whiskeys. And this is one of those. And it's now all the way down to the semifinals. So there you go. MGP puts out good stuff. But it's a ghost whiskey. So if it wins the whole kit and caboodle, then I've got a ghost whiskey as the champion of Texas rye whiskeys. That would be, I don't know. So at any rate, I have mixed up the glasses. On the bottom is a number you might be able to see. Number 1 is Cotton Hollow, and number 2 is Still Austin. I can't see the numbers from my perspective, but when I tip the glass over to drink, maybe you can see it. And then part of the fun is if I can figure out which is which, right? So if you hold the bottles up together, you can see that they are very evenly matched. Well, I'm going to say the Still Austin is a shade darker. And that's what the Texas heat will do for you. Cotton Hollow, aged 4 years, but in Indiana. Still Austin, probably just 2 years, and it's darker. So going off of just the color, if I am correct, then I think the glass in my right hand is Still Austin. But we're going to go through the test, the nosing, the tasting, see which one I like best, and then try to discover if I'm right about Still Austin and Cotton Hollow. So there you go. But this is, Cotton Hollow's not available anymore. Like I said, I think they're defunct. Still Austin is widely available. Specs has it for $47.36. Goody Goody for $49.99, and I did not get it at Total Wine. Their website says they don't have it, which websites are iffy. So I didn't go to Total Wine. I'm not going to go all the way out to Total Wine just to check. Right? If I go there, I'm going to go there to shop. So I don't know. All right. So now let's do the nosing of these whiskeys. I will start on my left with what I think is Cotton Hollow. And it does have a good rye nose immediately. If you watch any of my other videos, you know that my nose does not work. My lungs barely work. So smelling things is pretty difficult. But I do get with rye, I can sometimes get that rye note, and that's what I'm getting. So very good. A lot of bourbons I can't smell at all. This one on my right, I think, is still Austin. Okay, yeah, that's a different smell. Very sharp. Not alcohol sharp, but rye spice sharp. Almost perfumey. So this is more pronounced on the nose. Advantage to still Austin. So if this is, you know, again, if I'm right, still Austin wins the visual appearance because I prefer darker whiskeys. It's just an aesthetic thing for me. And it also wins the aroma, the nosing. So now let's go in for the taste. That's just awesome. And that's why at this level of competition, you know, this is the semifinals. Well, I haven't had a bad whiskey at all. I started off with 16 Texas Ryes. They've all been good. But when you get to this level, you're looking at very good. So that's a very strong, sparkly, spicy, sweet drink. What was on the nose is in the palate. So that is, man, that's just a fantastic rye right there. So yeah, that's got everything I'm looking for a rye. Now there's different ways to evaluate these rye whiskeys, and we'll deal with that after we finish this part of the tournament. Cleanse my palate with Topo Chico. All right, let's go to this one on the right, which I think is still Austin. If it is still Austin, it should have a number 2 on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it or not. These two are very similar. I mean, this may be actually very difficult to determine because they are so similar on the nose. In fact, with that, I'm getting pine or evergreen. Maybe not pine, but spruce, juniper, spruce, some kind of evergreen flavor in there that's unique and interesting. Try it again. Yeah, see, now I'm thinking evergreen all the way. Wow. I've got images of being in the Rocky Mountains, surrounded by spruce, fir trees, pine trees. That's what that tasted like. That's awesome. There's a beer that I had. I think it was an Alaskan winter beer that had some kind of a evergreen flavor to it. But that could have been a Samuel Adams. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. Okay, so now I've got to decide between these two whiskeys. Wow. Now the rules, what I'm looking for in this whiskey tournament is I have tilted the rules towards clear rye spice. There's some rye whiskeys I'm just going to name one. Basil Hayden's Dark Rye. I don't get rye flavor from that. I get other things in there. I mean, it's an amazing whiskey, but I don't get rye. These two are strong rye. One is a bit more perfumey and evergreen flavor. This other one is just straight flat out rye. So in case of a tie, what's my tiebreaker? Price and availability. Well, if Cotton Hollow's defunct, can't get any more. So that's a problem. So I'm really trying to go off of flavor. But with these two at this level of the competition, the proof 99.6, the other one 101. One Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and then one from Austin, Texas. I'll tell you, a lot of great rye whiskeys in Texas didn't make it to this level because they had the strong Texas funk. It's that char note, that oaky note that I love. And so if I was just evaluating on what's my favorite, I might have totally 4 different whiskeys in the final 4. Because I really love that Texas char, that Texas funk. But I also really love the pure rye flavor. So that's what I'm judging this part of the competition on. And these 2 whiskeys excel. But this one on my right has got something extra that does not obscure the rye. See, the Texas char, the Texas funk, tends to obscure the rye flavor. Still Austin does not have the Texas funk. I'm not getting char, I'm not getting barrel. What I'm getting is rye, pure rye, plus evergreen in this glass. And it just triggers memories of being in the mountains. When I was in the Army, I was at Fort Lewis, Washington. And, you know, that cold, wet climate, so I had evergreen trees all over the place. And that triggers those memories. When I was a kid, we went camping in Yellowstone National Park and Colorado Mountains. This whiskey wins. This is my winner right here because it pulled something off that the others haven't been able to pull off. Strong rye flavor with something bonus, something extra. That evergreen note comes through. So I don't know which one this is. Number 2, Still Austin. So I was right in looking at the color and thinking it was Still Austin. And Still Austin for the win. Right there. Semifinals, second matchup. Still Austin is going to the final, and it's going to face 83 proof Blackland Rye from Fort Worth. 83 proof versus 99.6. Wow, that's going to be a struggle. Okay, so the conclusion here is that with the strong rye flavor plus fir, pine, spruce, something, that's a winning combination. Next time we meet, maybe next week, maybe not. We'll try. It's going to be the final, and it's going to be Blackland 83 proof versus Still Austin. Until then, this is Stab the Dragon out here.